So I took my daughter to baby massage classes when she was only 3 months old, and I absolutely adored them. Like, it was my favourite part of the week, every Tuesday morning, attending those classes. Something about setting aside that time, that dedicated time with your baby, and being taught something that is so beautiful by an incredible teacher, surrounded by parents who just get it. It felt, you feel so held in those kind of spaces. And when I went to those classes, I just knew that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to create that space. And when I looked around at the parents in the room, I could feel these warm glows surrounding them and their baby. There was so much joy in what they were learning and how they were interacting with their little baby. And I just wanted to create more of that. I wanted to create more warm glows, and that's when I decided that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to teach baby massage. I didn't want to feel that judgment from other parents, the feeling of being too young or too inexperienced. So I had only ever, up until that point, worked in hospitality, just like serving coffees in a little local cafe, and I'd never done anything like that before. So my biggest fear was coming across inexperienced and feeling judged, I think, for my age. It was kind of a scary thing anyway, knowing that I'd be teaching parents how to do something brand new with their baby. So I think that was a underlying fear, I suppose, because I'd never taught parents or adults how to do anything before. Finances were quite a big obstacle to overcome, and thankfully I was so blessed that I had my family on my side, and they were supporting me through this new venture. They hadn't even heard of baby massage before, but they were like, go for it. And they helped me out a little bit financially. I know that's not the case for everybody. And later on I discovered that Blossom and Berry actually do a bursary for people who might not be able to afford the course financially. So it was really great that I had them on my side, but the real obstacle came when I was looking for venues to teach from. And I am based in London, and a lot of the church halls or centres that you might teach from elsewhere are about £40 to £45 to rent, and that was a big lump sum for an hour. For £45 to £40 an hour. That's quite a big lump sum to spend out if you're just starting out and you don't know if you're going to reach, the maximum amount of parents in your class. But I gave it a go, and it didn't really work out for me, so that was a big obstacle to kind of overcome. I did then think, well, how can I reach parents? And I did quite a few one-to-one classes or sessions with parents, and a few smaller group sessions in the client's home, which works really well. And I actually really enjoy those sessions as well, because parents often feel a lot more at ease, and so do their babies, in their own home setting naturally. So that was a really beautiful thing to do. And then I reached out to different wellbeing centres. So as opposed to just looking for a hall or a venue, I actually approached wellbeing and wellness centres to see if that was something that they would want to offer. And what's great about that is that they have their own systems and their own platforms that they share your classes through. So a lot of the middleman is kind of cut out in that sense, and you can reach quite a diverse range of people who are looking for wellness, and then maybe they have a baby and then they seek out baby massage. So that was how I navigated that obstacle. But another big one that came up was, and is, imposter syndrome, and I think that's for everyone just in life. There are moments where you compare yourself to another person or another business, and it is one of those hard things to overcome. But a friend of mine recently said comparison is the thief of joy, and that really resonated, and I've actually kept that really close, because every time I tend to find myself comparing, I straight away think, well, this is taking the joy away from what I love to do. And Gail actually mentions it a lot as well in the course, is that being your authentic self will draw the right people to you. And I think that's very, very powerful when you think about it, because if someone's not aligned with you, then they may not have the same takeaways as you would have wanted or anticipated for your business. So the right people will be drawn to you and your offerings. And I think that if you keep that in the forefront of your mind, then the comparison slowly fades away. So those are the main two obstacles that I have faced. I'm sure I'll face many more, and hope to overcome those as well. Somehow. I believe that it was almost divine timing, just like my pregnancy and my daughter. That just came at the right time for me, and especially because I had my daughter and I had practiced massage with her, I felt as though I could do the training as well as practice with my daughter, so we also reap the benefits of the practice and learning, but then also trialing it, I suppose, with my daughter, and she absolutely adores massage. Even now she still asks for a massage. But yeah, I've always been quite a tactile person. I do believe that love and touch is my love language, and before having a baby I actually considered becoming a masseuse, but it was just an idea, and now that almost seems more attainable as well. I found that it was exciting to be able to know that I could create something for myself and also for my family, and have that flexibility where I can also spend that quality time with my family, and pick and choose my hours and how much I want to put in or when I want to take a break. I quite like that idea of flexibility, and having your own business, you don't have to look up to someone to, tell you what to do. You can just navigate that and pick and choose what you might want to teach. So I really like that idea, and that was the right time to begin my training. When starting out, I first asked the woman who was teaching me and my daughter baby massage, and I asked her who she trained with, and she told me that she trained with Blossom and Berry, and she only had good things to say. She just said it was amazing, the training. You really feel supported, and Gail, she actually said these words, Gail Berry is like speaking to a friend, and that really drew me in. So I was like curious, and I was particularly drawn to the fact that when I researched and googled, I was particularly drawn to the fact that Blossom and Berry isn't a franchise, so you have that creative expression, you have that authentic voice. You're not doing A, B and C that's on a list that you have to tick box. You can ebb and flow through different ideas. I really like that idea that you can create your own business, your own logo, your own branding, and then it's your own, and that feels like you want to share it even more because it's got your heart in it. And that really drew me in, because I know that there's quite a lot of franchises out there, but that made me feel like I was able to have a unique expression. You really feel held and supported throughout. There's no pressure to complete anything by a deadline or like a number of weeks. You have lifetime access to the course, so you can dip in and out. It is suggested that you do kind of keep up to date with practice and learning and look back if you have been doing it for a while. But what is so lovely about that is that life can be so unexpected and throw massive curveballs. And so if you may believe that now is the right time to train, but then in a month or so you feel like you need to put that on hold for whatever reason, you can. So I do really like that aspect of the training. There's also the Nurture Collective, which you become a part of once you have joined, and that is a online space, an online community for teachers, so teacher to teacher interactions, which I think is so lovely, especially when you're running your own business. It can feel quite isolating, but you can always go into that Nurture Collective and feel supported, and you can share your wins, you can ask questions, you can seek advice there, and that's just a lovely space to feel held in. The training itself was really easy to follow, really structured well, and what I liked about it was that there's lots of avenues to learn in. So there's podcasts, so if you're a audio learner, you can listen to podcasts. There's visual learning, so video demonstrations, and then written, like a whole massive written workbook to go through. And then you also have live training, so you can actually ask directly to one of our expert teachers all the questions that might come up, and then you can actually demo as well. You can practice alongside them, so that's really great for just before you go on to teaching parents in real life. You can do some practice runs with a teacher who can guide you through that, and I think that's really invaluable. Like, so you get so much, and you really gain a lot from the training as well. It's a beautiful thing to reflect, actually. So I feel blessed. I do. I feel so blessed to do what I do, and I hope that it, even if it makes the smallest impact on one parent's life, then that's just an incredible thing.